every single time, and the religious ones were the really fun. They were a lot of fun.
I don't know. Our first 2 years, the military group was so awesome.
They were. The first 2 years, okay, I remember the first year. I was here the first year.
Well, not here.
Yeah. So,
not here.
No, not here. But at the MFF the first year. And I was really worried. We had a bunny named Silver.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He used to run around with these bunny ears, and he was, how do you say, flamboyant? He was the guy who spread all this glitter all over the fucking stage. And he went, because we were sharing the convention with a decorated officer military, not just in the old grunts, decorated frickin' officer military convention. He's like, I'm so gonna go crash their deck. I'm so gonna go in there and I'm gonna gain up all over the place. I'm like, God, it's gonna be somewhere. We're like, oh, Jesus Christ. And he did it. He did it. He went in there and he crashed their dance on Friday. And so the decorated military officers in retaliation crashed our dance on Saturday. They actually did. Do you remember that?
They did.
Yeah.
By the end of that weekend, there were some people in military outfits having tails and ears on.
Dude! Like bars down to here and shit and tails, and they were dancing with fursuiters and we're like,
Oh my God, this is so cool. When they heard that we were moving to the Woodfield, High Woodfield, we actually got approached by them and said, which hotel are you going to?
Yeah.
I'm going to join you.
When they heard that MFF was moving, they came to MFF and asked them where they were going so they could go there too. They wanted to move to the same hotel. Military people are weird. They're just as fucked up as we are.
The last time I was at a furry gathering in Germany, I thought we would have a similar story, because there were all these guys in military uniforms, and I happened to go by one of their rooms, and it said, Panzer Grenadier Brigade. And I said, no, let's leave them alone.
Panzer
Grenadier Brigade.
Yes. Tank.
Basically...
Grenade tank officers.
Tank officer, fuck you up Germans.
Yes. They were having a convention there, and we're like, oh, we should not fuck with these.
No.
We're not going to, no.
No, they drive tanks.
Yes.
Not just tanks, but panzers.
Serious-looking people, too.
Yes.
Germans are serious.
Oh, they're all serious. It doesn't matter. Even the clowns are serious.
Yes. German clowns.
Listen, German, I am a clown. You will laugh at me
I am
now.
a clown. I am funny right now.
Yes. Why are you not laughing?
Yes. Laugh now. See, I am funny.
Actually, that's not true. I remember the first German New Year party I went to. They had it at the Ringberg Hotel.
Yes.
Okay, the Ringberg Hotel was where Eurofriends had been for 3 years. After they left...
In Nuremberg.
Oh no.
Ringberg. No, Magdeburg.
Yes, Magdeburg. No. The Ringberg is in Zul.
The Ringberg is in Zul, I'm sorry.
Zul.
Sorry.
We're getting our cities mixed up.
Sorry.
Right. So, the Ringberg called up the guys who organized Eurofriends and said, our New Year's party this year is a themed party. It's this is a world-renowned party. They come from all over Europe to have the party at the Ringberg. And the manager said, this year's theme is Circus Ringberg, and we need animals. And he said, I'll make you a deal.
Do you know what we can get?
Yeah.
Some animals.
He basically said, you supply the animals, we'll give you crash space and a buffet for your New Year party all for free. So they said, okay.
Okay.
They also, at the Ringberg, they had in the basement, like a little private bar. This bar, now again, BBF set up all the stuff in there he needed for the Big Blue Dance. This was, you've seen BBF do the dances, right?
Put it in there, man.
It looks like this, but with more fog. They've got the dance setup, they've got the lasers, the fog machine, the oons. It is a full-blown German rave party with fursuiters down there. And at the same time, upstairs, the next floor up, that was where the old people were having their New Year party. And at one point, I left our party and I went upstairs, and here's the old people. They got a guy on stage spinning plates on a stick. And I went downstairs, and I go back upstairs. As the evening wore on, more and more of these tiny, frail little old people started coming downstairs and looking in the door. Now, of course, the furries are like, "Come on in, willkommen!" So many of the old people, there was like 3 people watching the guy spinning the plates. We had all these little old people in their tuxedos down in the furry party, shuffling, dancing with the fursuiters. The Germans just put up a sign in German that said, you know, "You are welcome to come in, remember the booze is not free."
Yeah. You have to say that in Germany.
Yeah, but they will.
Drink it.
It's like, oh, yeah, it's like also, thank you very much. Yeah, because quite literally, you will spend less on beer than you will on water.
This actually is a fact. He's not lying.
Yeah, you go to a
beer
restaurant.
costs less than water in Germany.
Yeah. What do you want to
They
drink?
do charge
Yeah.
for water. You can't just. They don't have drinking fountains.
No.
You have to buy water, and it costs more than beer.
You can sit down. We'll sit down. What are you having to drink? You're having beer. I'm having water. €3, €4.
Yeah.
So it's because the beer comes out of a tap in the kitchen. The water they had to ferment.
They milk beer cows.
They do.
They have beer cows. There's some like German chick with the pigtails and these huge massive tits, and they're just like, the beer is coming out of her. Off somewhere, they're keeping her secret.
Yes.
And they just milk it into the mugs and give it out. It's cheap. It's cheap. They have the beer cow is over there. That's where all beer comes from.
I will have to confess, every time I go to that party at New Year's and all the tiny, frail little old people, this little 90-year-old man comes down, I wind up with ulcers on my tongue from biting it so hard to keep myself from saying, "What did you used to do?" One of these days, one of them's going to tell me.
Where exactly were you in 1945?
Yeah. Oh, I used to know a guy back when I was working for the Red Cross before I found out they were an organized crime outfit.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There was another volunteer, an old Germanic gentleman named Tom Riethoff. And Tom had a very, very sick accent that I'm very familiar with. And,
donation bucket?
Yes, thank you. We are going to put more in this. So one day I was talking to Tom, and I mentioned to him, I said something about him being German. He said, "I'm not German, I'm Sudeten Czechoslovakian." I thought, oh, I'm terribly sorry. Forgive my cultural ignorance. Now, this was in the 1990s. Tom was about 78 years old. About a week later, we were responding to a fire in Philadelphia. The family was Hispanic, and Tom started talking to them in absolutely picture-perfect Spanish, conversing with them. And afterward, when we got back in the truck, I said, "Gee, Tom, where did you learn to speak Spanish?" And he said, "Oh, I spent a lot of time in Argentina."
Wow.
Never asked him another question again.
You know, I have found also that running a convention leads to some amazing stories. I've started 2 conventions, ran them for a certain amount of time before I decided, you know what?
To run away screaming.
Yeah, because it sucks. I was running a theater in California, and we had a scheduling conflict. This was our first year. Now, this was one of those things where we had a small hotel, only a couple of rooms, main stage, smaller room for performances, and we had some extra area for, you know, fursuit, dance, lounge, and things like that. Well, they discovered, God damn them, they discovered on Friday, oh my gosh, didn't we tell you? There's a wedding gonna go on Saturday afternoon in one of your rooms. I can't believe we failed to mention that bullshit to you.
So how could we forget? It didn't cross our
It never
mind.
crossed our fucking brains. So now we gotta put up with this. And we're like, okay, And this was not just a wedding. This was a Black Baptist wedding. That's not just a wedding. This is a very passionate.
Okay, let's put it this way. When he says the word Black Baptist wedding, the mental image you get, that's what it was.
That's right. So, I go to my security team and I say, look, they're having a wedding. It's going to be from 3 to 6. Do not let anyone from our convention into their wedding under any circumstances. They don't go. We didn't want to disturb them. We didn't want them, we want to make sure it was, don't disturb them. Okay, not a problem. They won't go in there. Great, awesome. Because the last thing I wanted was, a Baptist wedding being crashed by, Chubbs the raccoon. Yeah. So, okay, or some dude, the stupid latex zipper guy. So it's, no, don't do that. So, yeah, you've seen that guy. Probably.
I think he is that guy.
He is that guy. So, I come back around 4:30. I'm just doing my rounds, and I walk upstairs, and there's about, I would say, a dozen fursuiters in the room where there is a pastor and a Black Baptist wedding going on. And they're dancing around with the people who are involved with the family. And I went over to my head of security and I said, before I kill you, tell me what happened. He said, look, we tried to do what you say. We told them they could not go in. The black people ran out of the room and they dragged the fursuiters into their wedding. We could not stop them. Please don't kill us. And at that point, we went downstairs, rounded up the rest of the fursuiters that were in the lobby and sent them into the wedding. And everybody had an awesome time.
Guess what?
What?
The hawk has fallen asleep.
He's awake.
I am too. Have you guys at least gotten your money's worth now?
Yeah!
If you got any money left over, we'll gladly take it. Give a mic to this guy.
Going on with weddings. So, back in 2001, Duncan and I had our commitment ceremony the Sunday of MFF. Note that we were also working MFF at that time. Never a good idea. Do not ever work the convention that you have your ceremony at. Had some family members come in, both sides of the family, and wasn't really familiar with the furry thing, and watching them, come in and see what's happened. I found out first off that my oldest brother and his wife saw two guys really making out very heavily on the parking lot. If I had known that night, I would have taken their balls. Anyway, they had a fantastic time, and in fact, we actually had some fursuiters crash the wedding. And it was really awkward, but really cool, and the pictures were well worth it. And I have to say, this community is very awesome. And I think, you guys have done a wonderful thing for the charity. And with that, let's help fill this bucket before we go off to bed tonight. But I think they want to say goodnight, don't you?
Yes, anything left over, drop it in here. And while you're dropping in there, yes, go ahead, barf it into the thing.
Barf it in there, we don't care.
On your feet, you've got it in you.
Thank you.
With the last of our strength as we struggle off the stage, I shall simply say, ladies and gentlemen, this is to the Ranting Griffin.
This is Uncle Kage,
and this is to Kaza over here, and we're tired, we're going to bed. Thank you on behalf of the ladies and the guys.